Alright, so let's talk hand, foot, mouth disease caused by Coxsackie virus. And yes, that name's kind of ridiculous, but if you are a parent of a young child or toddler, you know how brutal this can be. It just goes and runs through daycares, and it can be incredibly arduous and painful for a child to go through and for a parent to witness. So let's go over it really quickly here and just cover all the main stuff that you would want to know about Coxsackie hand, foot, mouth disease. So, hand, foot, mouth disease gets its name because you can get symptoms in the mouth, usually little blisters in the back upper part of the palate. We call it herpangina, or you get these blister type rashes and lesions in the palms and soles, but you might also see the rash in the groin and other parts of the body, or even the arms and legs, not just in the palms and soles. And you don't always need all three for hand, foot, mouth disease. The textbook case is, something in the mouth, something in the hands, something in the feet, but sometimes you might just see the rash around the hands or feet, or you might just see the herpangina in the back of the throat. You don't need to see all of it to diagnose it as such. Fortunately, because hand, foot, mouth disease is caused by a virus, Coxsackie virus, it does clear on its own without any treatment and doesn't have any long-term effects or problems. That being said, the biggest danger of Coxsackie is dehydration. The herpangina that kids get is incredibly painful, and anything hot or acidic like soups or orange juice can actually make it hurt more, and those kids refuse to drink anything. They end up getting dehydrated, and then they end up admitted in the hospital for IV fluids and dehydration. So the most important thing is to keep your child hydrated. Now, a lot of parents might be surprised to hear that kids with Coxsackie do quite well if they're drinking anything cold or dairy, cold Pedialyte, cold juice. If you give them some smoothies or yogurt, those kinds of things can actually be soothing, and they guzzle that stuff down. Cold milk as well, and that's a great way to get them to drink something and eat something and keep them hydrated if they have the herpangina. Most kids tend to start to feel better within a week of getting the symptoms, and they're pretty much fully recovered by week 2 or so after symptom onset. You want to make sure they're fever-free 24 hours, their symptoms have cleared up before they're around anyone, and the rash you get in the hands, feet, arms, legs, that is contagious to touch until it dries up and crosses over and shrinks down. So you also want to make sure that is starting to clear up if your child is around other people. Some doctors prescribe what they call like a magic mouthwash. It's like, I think it's like a Benadryl steroid solution. I'm not totally sure. I've seen a mix of things. They call it like a cocktail to help soothe the throat, but generally guidelines don't recommend that these days, so I don't recommend it. The best thing is, like I said, cold dairy type things, cold Pedialyte. Those will be very soothing, or you could give like a Tylenol to a child if they can receive it. So those are the main ways to treat Coxsackie. It's mainly supportive, and please do not call it Coxsackie. Someone did that once and it already sounds bad. Let's be honest, that just made it sound even worse.